When I first bought it, it had different guards. And then I'm just like, yeah, Craig, just take my money. Take it, mate. Take all my money. Take my $100 million. Just take it. Like, in my mind blew. I'm like, no way. Am I gonna get this Skyline? Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name's Sean, and this is my 1998 R34 Skyline GTT. So this is going to be a series documenting how I'm going to turn this project car into a show car. So today's episode is going to be about just how cheap I bought this Skyline for. Honestly, you won't believe it. So here is the story on how I got this car into my garage, as you see now. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick around, grab some popcorn, take a seat, we're in for a good one. So one day, about a year ago, I was at work. I was working at the back in my shop, and then I decided to check the Trade Me listings. Trade Me is New Zealand's biggest buying and selling exchange in New Zealand, and a great place to buy and sell cars. So I checked the listings and I instantly came across this Skyline, and immediately it caught my attention. It was everything that I was looking for. It's a 5-speed manual, RB25 dead. The reg was on hold. It's got aftermarket suspension, all certified. And Craig, the owner, straight away, I had a good chat to him over the phone, and he told me everything that I needed to know about the car. And I asked him, hey look, what sort of money are you looking for this vehicle? He originally told me 18 to 20 grand is what his son wanted. Now, he was selling it on behalf of his son, who had actually gone to the Navy, and he'd left this car in a container. Can you believe it? He left it in a container, gone to the Navy, and it had been sitting for years. So I told Craig, look, yeah, that sounds good to me, just to get him to sort of do the deal over the phone. And once I got there, I would determine how much I'd be willing to pay for it. So I told him, hey, look, yes, I'm keen. I want it. I want to make a deposit on it now for you to hold it for me. So I put $500 straight into his bank account. So that's a pro tip there for you guys when you're wanting to buy a car and it's a really popular car like this, that you know that the owner's going to be getting a heap of attention on, their phone's going to be going off, they're going to get multiple offers, that you want to secure the deal straight away. So that's what I did. I put $500 straight into his account, and he was happy with that to hold the vehicle for me. Now, number 2 pro tip is, with a vehicle like this, you want to get it off the market straight away. So even if you've held a deposit, if it's still on the market, he'll be still getting tons of phone calls, tons of texts, and people wanting to offer probably way more than what you're willing to pay for it. And then at that point, he's going to start second guessing, oh no, did I make the right decision taking this deposit? I might want to go with this other offer and back out of the deal. So what you want to do is you want to ask him to get to take off the listing right off the market straight away. And that's what I did. I asked him, he was all good about it. He took it off, withdrew the listing, and in that way I knew the deal was pretty much secure. So over the next day, I organized some vehicle transportation. I found a guy out in Pukekohe, which isn't too far from here. He was happy to take me up. He had a van and a transporter trailer. So I went with him, about a 4-hour drive up to Whangarei. So once we got there, Craig, he was at work, and the car was waiting outside for us. And honestly, like, I could not believe it. R34 Skyline in the flesh, in person. It was honestly surreal. I looked around the vehicle and honestly couldn't believe it. And I had to take it for a test drive, which Craig was all good about. So I jumped in, went for a spin. It started up fine, and it boosted well too. It went well, it drove good, but there was a lot of smoke coming from the exhaust. I wasn't too worried about it. I knew it had been sitting for a long time and it probably just needed an oil change. but the main thing was that it ran well, it boosted, and that was good enough for me for a project car like this. So we took it back, we did a compression test on it just to make sure that the engine was healthy. So it came back with 150 across the board, and with one cylinder coming back at 200, which is a little higher than the other ones, but that was okay for us. The vehicle was running, driving, and we were happy with that. So then time came for the negotiation, and I went to Craig and I said, hey look, what is the lowest your son is prepared to take? I've had a look at the vehicle, taken it for a test drive, I'm happy with it, I've seen it, and I'm wanting to buy it now. And then I also mentioned, hey look, it needs a full paint job, it's gonna need a new WAF, I don't know what sort of issues, how much money is going to need to be spent on this vehicle. It is a massive risk for me, as well as all of the smoke that was coming from the exhaust. I had no idea what that was. So, you know, I was taking a big risk, and I laid out those issues to Craig as part of the negotiation process. And he said he was looking at around $15,000, which is already lower than what he said over the phone. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is a good start. This is a good start. So I then offered him 10 grand. Now that might be a bit low, but you got to start low and then work your way up, because you can't, if you offer a high, you can never go back down. Another pro tip, you got to start low and then build your way up. So I started at 10 grand, and he said, look, that's probably too low, but you came all this way. He does want to get rid of the vehicle, so how about I could probably do 12.5 grand for you. And honestly, when he said that, like in my mind blew. I'm like, no way, am I gonna get this Skyline for $12,500? And I could not, in my head, I could not believe it. I was freaking out, but I had to keep a poker face. I had to keep a straight face. You can't let the buyer know that you're too overly keen on it, because they know you'll want to pay more. And then I'm just like, yep, Craig, just take my money. Take it, mate. Take all my money. Take my $100 million. Just take it. So yeah, we did the deal. We shook hands. I paid him the rest of the money, and then we loaded it back onto the trailer, and we drove it back down and returned it into the garage, as you see now. So it did look a little bit different when I first bought it. It had different guards, a factory bonnet, and another aftermarket front bumper. So I've already made a few changes as well on it. So yeah, it's been sitting for about a year now. I'm wanting to pour more money into it, get it up and running, and really get it looking like a nice show car. So that's what you have to look forward to in the future episodes. So make sure you watch the next video. If you like this sort of content and you want to see more from my Skyline, or you have other suggestions on what you would like to see, or any feedback, that would be really appreciated. This is my first vlog. You know, I'm out here giving it a go, and I would love to share my journey with you guys about my R34 Skyline and all the other cars that I've actually owned. I've owned over 100 cars, and in the next few episodes I'll be showing you guys all the cars that I've owned, and there are some pretty cool ones in there, so you're gonna want to stick around. So thanks for joining today. I do really appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.